Hey, Doug Upstone here for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, and today is Tuesday, which means we got another college football weekend coming up real soon. And so we're going to be looking at some of the games that had some significant line moves to this point, along with some betting trends, and see where the public is putting their money, at least early on, see where we're going. This past week, nothing in particular really fired well. For the free picks, I didn't have a particularly good week. Most of the betting trends or the 80% systems, or 80% systems, and even where people were betting, if you go to the website and look at everything, nothing really fired this week. Hey, you know what? Every week isn't a good week. Okay, you have this. If anybody tells you differently, I can tell you one thing, they're lying to your face. Plenty of people do well. And speaking of that is Sean Higgs. After 3 weeks, he's the #1 sports handicapper in the NFL at sportscapping.com. And he's part of the team at Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, along with Kyle Hunter, Jim Mack, yours truly, and Dennis Macklin. So you can get all of our plays along with Wise Guy plays, top trends, other top systems, my super systems, all of that, okay? $99 a month. That's all it costs. Most places will charge $40, $50 for one football pick. You're going to get a month's worth of best bets from all the best handicappers, plus all the other information I just mentioned. So that's available to you. Okay, check it out, the website right now, VegasProInsidersDaily.com. Hey, let's get to some college football, shall we? And we're going to start off with the Friday night game in the ACC, which is Miami of Florida again at Duke. Now, Miami is one of the teams from Florida who was off for 3 weeks, and they struggled some early, as would be expected against Toledo, but they got things rolling, ended up winning the game, I believe, and covering as well. And so now they get into the normal routine of playing week after week after week, and bettors evidently really like what they have seen and expect the Hurricanes to do well, because they've taken them from -4.5 to -6.5 against 4-0 Duke. I have to say that right now, I have to agree with the general consensus of that, with the line going up, and especially with the Hurricanes 6-0 against the spread after scoring 37 or more points. However, 55% of the bettors currently are on Duke. Next up, a game that not going to draw a lot of attention. Charlotte against Florida International. Now, for some reason, this game I expected to be a very low volume bet out of Conference USA, but whatever the money that has come in has forced the action to be on the Panthers of FIU, who've gone from -10.5 to -12.5 against Charlotte. Now, Charlotte is 0-4, does not look good, not covering any spreads. And in 3 of their games, they've played teams that are very similar to them, which from different conferences, that also aren't very good. So that's really, really a bad sign in this one. Right now, 95% of tickets written are on FIU. It probably won't stay at that high a level, but it's going to be significant, no question about it. Now we're going to go to the MAC conference, where Akron is going to be at Bowling Green. Now, in 2015, Bowling Green, at this time, was on their way to a very good season and to become MAC champions. Great passing attack, the whole works. Since then, they're 4-12 against the spread, and this season they're 0-4 straight up. Now, they're going to be playing an Akron team who's not exactly setting the world on fire either, at 1-3 straight up. But bettors like more of what they've seen out of the Zips and taken them from +1 to -3 against Bowling Green. Now, you know what? Bowling Green isn't a good team. That's understandable. But they're going to win some games. And being at home against a fair Akron team, I think they'll have a shot here. However, 82% of bettors right now are on Akron. I'm thinking that maybe, though, that Bowling Green might be worth a look later in the week. Big 12 action comes up next, Baylor and Kansas State. Now, Baylor, wow, what an impressive performance. They still lost to Oklahoma, but at 28-point underdogs, they lost 49-41, so they easily covered that spread. That wasn't even close, and offensively, they looked quite good, like they've had the last several years when Art Briles was the coach. So that has to be encouraging, but it wasn't encouraging enough, evidently, because sports bettors have taken the Bears from +14 to +17 at Kansas State. Now, the Wildcats are coming off a loss 2 weeks ago, or what will be 2 weeks ago by Saturday, at Vanderbilt as a ranked team, as a favorite. Kansas State, they lost 14-7, and if they score 14 or fewer points in their next game, they're 8-1 against the spread. But 52% of bettors right now are taking the points with Baylor. Next is a AAC game, and an interesting one. Navy is going to be at Tulsa. And the reason that I raise my eyebrows, as some of you say, or roll my eyes, is that Tulsa, 47 points a game, played New Mexico last week at home, and they lost 16-13. 13 points. Now, Tulsa had some running backs that got dinged. That didn't help. But only 13 points against New Mexico. And New Mexico their starting quarterback didn't even play. But New Mexico runs the option. They have the ability to hold on to the ball. And that's one way to really curtail the Tulsa offense, is keep them off the field. And Navy, well, if New Mexico can do that, certainly Navy can with how they possess the ball, running their option. Their deal is to, basically 4.5 yards of play. Running the ball slows the clock. That can put a lot of pressure on a not very good Tulsa defense, and that's why the Navy has gone from -3 all the way up to -6, and they have 75% of the bettors on their side right now. Now we've got an ESPN2 late game out of the Pac-10, and that's going to be Colorado at UCLA. And guess what? UCLA, the total went up. Can you believe that? The total went up on a UCLA game? I mean, they're only averaging, 45 points per game, and they're only giving up 43.2 points per game. So why would the total go up? Huh? Of course, that makes a lot of sense. 69.5 is what it's up to. That's a big three-point rise on the total in that game. Colorado didn't look very good offensively against Washington, but they did make a lot of mistakes. So I think Colorado's offense will definitely have success against this horrible UCLA defense, and I'm not sure that they're going to be able to stop Josh Rosen either of the Bruins. I think this could definitely be a high-scoring affair. 64% are on the over. We'll wrap it up in the SEC with South Carolina going up against Texas A&M at the home of the 12th man. Now, South Carolina's offense has had some problems of late, mostly due to injuries. They were lucky to beat Louisiana Tech 17-16 last week. And you have to wonder, if scoring-wise, if they'll be able to keep up with the Aggies, who got the offense going again. Now, South Carolina is okay defensively, not great, not a typical SEC defense, that's for sure. And so with that, the Aggies have gone from -8 up to -10. My initial thought is that Texas A&M is just going to have too much firepower for South Carolina, and so the game could get rolling. And if it's a high score, I'm not sure that South Carolina has the elements to keep pace. However, 80% of bettors are on South Carolina with those points. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out as the week goes on. So, hey, that's everything I got today for college football. I'll be back tomorrow with more of these exact type things in the NFL. So we'll cover that and maybe even have something for the games on Thursday, where we might have some free picks. We'll see what happens when we get to that tomorrow. That should be great. So, hey, Doug Upstone for Vegas Pro Insider Daily. Remember what I said at the top. Consider becoming a member. And otherwise, as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, I am out.